Start recording. Welcome. Hopefully audio is fine, because last time it was fine. I haven't played with the settings, so this should be all good. We'll go with Shael. Shael, can you give me a brief summarization of what has occurred so far?
So far, last session.
Yep, last session.
Okay, so we woke up again in Westron. Oh no, we were after the fight in the morning. After fighting the rats and the weird rat made out of rats in the basement of the innkeep that we're staying at. So we went back to the innkeeper, who was very happy to hear that we've got rid of his rat problem. And also that he's the owner of the weird knuckles that we found.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we went in to meet the monk, the elf from the Cobalt Soul. We spoke with her. She was like, okay, I might, but I need help with the wyvern. So we're on for a wyvern hunt. But before that, we went into the library itself.
Yeah.
So there we met this high elf guy who showed us where to find the books we need to find, and that's where we ended.
There or thereabouts, yeah. So yeah, you had a few hours that you spent reading up on some information and some details that you feel may help you in your future quest. Jirak, on the other hand, didn't feel much into reading, so decided that he was going to look for other things, and came across the trainer that was in the hired space of the Cobalt Souls garden, training in additional feats and such. And then Jirak noticed the observatory and had his star signs read in a group session, which gave him an insight into his, let's say, probably his fate or thereabouts, and that in turn gave him a little bit of a buff for the 24 hours. So he has that for until about, I'd say, just gone midday. That'll probably run till. But you each made your way back to the Sunkist Tavern, and on your way you had the sensation of a nice cooked roast meal. And as you entered, some of you did bear witness that it was most certainly a giant rat roast. Some of you, I think, didn't quite realize this at first sight, and either was halfway through eating before finding out, or didn't choose to eat at all, instead found other means of sustenance. So yeah, that's where you left off. So as you finished your dinner and you spend the evening relaxing in the tavern, patrons come and go through the hours that you spend there. If anyone wants to roll a perception check. Sure. So between Madison, Clarence, and Shael, you all kind of as you start to relax in this evening, and you're drinking ale and other sort of beverages that come your way, you kind of get too focused in each other, and it almost becomes like a little bit of a drinking competition between you all. And so you don't really pay too much attention for what's going on around you. However, both Girac and Ellie, being familiar with this kind of environment and having to watch out for what's going on around them, you both do hear, well, actually, you see an individual in dark leathered garment, like armor, enter, sort of weaves in and out of several of the patrons until he comes to the bar, and you see hotched over a large goblet, a human individual in shield armor, and you hear him lean in, and he begins to whisper, and you hear, "I have news." And the other guy turns and says, "Not here. See me tomorrow. I'll be on duty." And he kind of gives like an awkward nod and leaves again through the doorway.
Can I get a good look at his face?
Sure, go
Try
ahead.
and remember what he looks like.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I would say with the 20, you're paying well enough attention that you could probably remember him. And it was quite familiar leather gear that he was wearing. It looks familiar. You've seen the style before, but at that particular stage, you might not step it. But Goplani, you most certainly would have recognised it given your feet. He was wearing armor extremely familiar in terms of the clasp members that you were surrounded by in the woods, and the individual that he spoke to was wearing very similar armor to the guards that were surrounding the main gate.
Well, once he's gone, I'm going to tell everyone what I saw, and I assume Lana will fill in the gaps.
Mm.
You
Amy
also
with the words,
Ooh,
"We're fucked."
you also, with that perception
that's my
roll,
reaction.
you would also notice that a lot of the customers, or a few of the customers, are looking very sleepy, and two sit aside near the table that you're sat at, and you hear a conversation between them both, and it's like, it was so vivid. The horror of it all kept me up all night. And the other says, "I know what you mean, but the side effect may be bad, but at least we get to see our children, even for a short while." And he kind of, like, it differs off in between the rest of the conversations going by.
Right, so...
What is a class member doing here?
Yeah. Also, I may have just figured out why, well, sometimes the guards are okay and sometimes they're not. I think they might be putting the clasp ones at the gate. So they're not actively involved, but, you know, anyone who comes in and out of the city, they're going to be, anyone of note is going to be clocked for the clasp straight away, which would explain why that guard that we spoke to after the incident at the church or cathedral, where he was, well, not a criminal from what I could tell.
If we leave the city, they're going to know about it.
Exactly. I'm surprised that we haven't been, spotted anyone following us at the very least. You'd think after our eventful entrance, they would be a bit more hot on our tail. But I'm not going to complain.
Maybe that's what they're on about. They've got information.
Hmm. But second to that, so these people, right? What was it? They having nightmares, but they can see their children.
That's not what I'm getting, so that must be something different to what I'm having.
Yeah, you don't have any kids, do you, Lana?
Not that I know of.
I think you'd be the one to know about it, if anyone in the pairing.
So,
Hmm.
in my dreams, people are getting killed. If they're seeing them again,
But they did say that they were having nightmares. He said the horrors. So I imagine they are given. Maybe they have one day dreaming, and they see their, I guess, the spirits of their dead children. Maybe, or maybe they've like kidnapped their kids. I don't know. But then they have one good day of dreaming, but then the rest of the week is what you've been getting essentially.
I don't know what's wrong with you and dreams, but the thing that concerns me more is why are there class members here?
so sorry, I'm concerned about the people that are dying in my dreams and possibly the big larvae thing that's coming to get me every night, but you know.
Yeah. Big worms or criminals. Neither of them are good.
Big worm.
Well, I mean, big maggot. How's that?
Evil larvae thing, big teeth. Hiss, hiss.
So you've had those dreams as well.
Right, you've had them too.
Yeah, I have actually.
And in your ones.
I've had people exploding and creepy voices.
A creepy voice and always says the same thing. People dying by someone else, mainly you in my dream.
Me?
You stopped everyone.
Oh, that's real good to know.
Maybe it's subconscious.
We can only hope.
Okay.
And remember, what are we doing about that? And more importantly, on the same breadth of class member, what are we doing about these merchants that we've managed to needlessly?
I think we had a coherent plan at one point, but I think we've lulled ourselves into a false sense of security. We spent the last couple of days just like chillaxing. It may not have been for the best. No, I say that we did fight some demons.
We fought some demons.
Don't remember fighting demons, but okay.
well, we saw demons. We'll say they were definitely there at the very least. But does this have anything to do with the weird rat monster in the basement? Do you think?
Don't think so.
It looked
Nice.
more like a monstrosity to me than a demon or something like this.
I don't want to go in the sewers. Can we not go in the sewers, please?
I agree.
Yeah, I can't say I like it very much. Don't like not being able to see the sky.
Mine's smelling the shit around you, but yeah.
Oh yeah, and that.
Right. So, do before with the merchants was make ourselves look like we've had a rough time and go crying to them. Members, what are we gonna do? Sneak our way around town and try to find a way out?
That's an option.
No idea. But we've still got stuff that we'd be honestly doing, but beholden to in the city. We've still got money waiting for us with the guy at Gilmore's, and we still would need to bring the Wyvern tail back in. And I think that's going to draw a lot more attention than we'd like.
Do you think so? Are we walking in with a wyvern tail?
We basically need a new way out. Oh,
Well, as much as you don't want it, that might include yours.
hang on, we've got that walk on water thing, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, DM, does that count to sewer water?
Any water will count as a solid object.
Now, does that
What percentage of
include?
water?
Yeah, is that liquids or does it have to be majority water?
What does it say on the handout? Or did I not give
I've
you
got move across any liquid surface as if on solid ground for 1 hour.
one? There you go.
Cool. Right, so we can walk on lava. It doesn't mean it won't hurt, but at least we won't sink in.
Where did lava came in?
I'm just saying, like that's the extent of it. I think.
Right.
For those that are preoccupied and are drinking, that being Summer, Clarence, and Shael, could I have you each roll a Constitution saving throw, please?
Well, I'm just drinking water. I'm too young.
Can't argue with that.
Finally, I'm rolling fucking good. About fucking time.
When it counts.
Right.
What's next?
Nope, that's a natural one.
You take a swig of your ale, and just as it kind of gets to your throat, you feel the reflux of your body saying nope, and you just everything you've drunk, consisting of like the past hour and a half that you've probably been doing this, just goes back in and overflows of your mug.
Oh.
Uh,
I think we should call it a night.
I
Before we
think
do
the
that, I
same.
want to talk to you about cat training. Because you seem like you know how to train the feline.
I mean, yeah, and I like motion to Kega and make her do a trick. Like she stands on her hind legs and like dances. I mean,
For fuck's sake.
the earlier you start, the easier it is. But
Some of the other patrons are like, "What the?"
If you could give me
you've never been to a
some
circus before?
tips, that would be brilliant.
Well, what a lot of people get wrong with trying to train cats is treating them like pets. You have to understand cats are innately very independent creatures. So rather than have it like obey you, steer it in the right direction. So for example, when Keiko was younger, she used to sneak out all the time to go and hunt, and then I would find her in the morning having had the shit kicked out of her because she was like a tiny little lion. So instead, I would wait for her to like wake up in the middle of the night and leave, and then follow her and then fight alongside her. That way, you know, she would see, oh, he's not trying to control me. He's trying to like, you know, make me a buddy. So obviously at this stage, it's Eben's not quite old enough to go out hunting. I don't know how big Eben will grow, to be honest. So I have no real gauge for. I mean, this might be fully grown, so you might have like a 40-year-old cat in your hands. I have no idea. But when it does get to the point where they are very exploratory, rather than rein them back in, go along with it, and then that will build the trust. And once the trust is built, then you can work on having them follow you, because then they'll respect what you've got to say, basically.
Oh, brilliant.
Except Jurek doesn't say it like that. He says it in a lot more convoluted and like less concise way. Somehow less concise.
She's going to give it a go and try and...
Are you going to try and do that now?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it you're doing?
Just sort of letting it know. Go at your own pace. Not gonna pressure you. Do what you got to do, little cat. Meow. Yeah.
So go ahead and roll your animal handling check.
Was it you said last time in that weird little thing you put on that?
You should have your
advantage?
notes. Yes, you do.
July. Okay.
It looks at you, tilts its head, and gives out like a very pleasant like purr meow. It's like a, and as it does so, a little bit of like this brown like paper like sheath kind of flies from its mouth and like floats in the air a bit, and you recognize it as the same brown paper that you've got or had your cat treats in.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Also, you make sure. Jarrett looks over and goes, "Oh yeah, and you need to establish boundaries when it is feeding time and not feeding time, and really make sure that they don't just like eat whenever they want. That's one of the biggest things." Okay, right. Who's ready for bed?
I am.
I start rubbing Shale's back.
So, as if you're all heading to your room, as you prepare for your rest.
Am I able to look at my quiver before I sleep, please?
Yeah, so what are you doing with your quiver, sorry?
Looking to see if anything's grown. If not, I'll water it and hope for the best.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll me a nature check first. You can see the soil is still nice and like fair darked. You can see the very, very finest, like very, very small piece of like green, like appearing from the soil from within. There's a few little dots of this same kind of like almost like bulb-like growth.
I'm gonna water it with Druidcraft and then go to bed.
Sure. Okay. Okay. As you become comfortable in your room and you prepare for your sleep, Summer, you hear the high pitch ring in your ears to the point where it's uncomfortable. It's keeping you awake.
Brilliant. Love this game.
Goplana, you have two choices. Would you like to join me in the whisper chat, or would you like it done in the main chat?
Yeah,
Here?
that's fine.
Okay, as long as you're sure. Goplana, as you drift into a deeper sleep, you feel heavy in your bed, like something is bearing down upon you. You open your eyes to find yourself in a white space. You begin to hear the slithering, or as the huge shadow of a worm shrouds around you. Goplana.
Oh, Jesus.
Can you make a wisdom check, please? Sorry, wisdom save. Sorry, DC 17. Okay. Let me just
Timidly flips them off.
3D. 1, 2, 3. You receive 8 points of psychic damage. You feel this pain in your mind, and as you turn, you see a wooden door at the end of a tall, narrow, cliff-like bridge. You cannot see the ground. Goplana. Open. Become. Together. Power. What do you do?
Oh, fuck. Oh, this is a dream, right? I'm gonna open the door.
Okay.
No! No!
So you open the door, and as you open it, the white expanse becomes more increasing. You wake suddenly, dripping in your own sweat. Everyone else is asleep. Your eyes come into focus, and you see in the dark expanse of your room. You look over to your bag, and you see a shadow begins to rise from the blade. It's short, corporeal, gnome-like. As you lay there confused, it reaches and lashes out towards you.
That's what's cracking it.
Does... Oh, You are so bloody lucky. I know that misses. It reaches out at you, and you feel like your essence, your strength, pulling from your body, and you give a resist. What do you do?
I don't know. Right, so it's pulling me towards the sword, right?
No, it's trying to pull your strength of your essence out of your body.
I'm Thorn with the sword. Bye.
Okay.
That shit away from me. Oh no, Thornwick pulled me towards it. Shit. Oh. Um. Is anyone between me and it, or is the bag right next to me?
I mean, the shadow rose from the blade and then lashed towards you, so it rushed to your bedside and then tried to grasp at your energies, and he's pulling from you this shadow of what you would recognize as Wilmot Wizcrack. Yes.
I'm gonna wind wall straight at it then.
Okay.
Pretty good. 10 out of 10. 6.
Is there a save to this, or?
I don't think. Do. Strength saving.
Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh, it misses 7 strength, so fails, I'm guessing.
D6 bludgeoning. So that's 6 points of damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna wake Jurak up.
Now, is this a dream in which, like, she's imagining she's actually there, or could I actually wake up
As you wake up,
and it's actually the room?
As you wake up, you see this short gnomish shadow just in just in the middle of the room, reaching at Goplana.
Help.
So I am just going to double check my character sheet very quickly. Nope, never mind. I thought one of my flaws was that I am paranoid of danger, but I think that might be someone else that I've played. So I wouldn't have my axe on me, obviously. I think I am just going to make noise and very, very clumsily and trying to attract as much attention as possible, grab the bottom of my bag and just shake it out and try and find my silver hand axe.
Okay.
You trying to shoo it away?
No, I'm trying to get its attention. Actually, wait, no, have I? I'm pretty sure. Yes, I have silvered my spear, so I will find my spear, which obviously won't be in a bag.
First of all, I need Clarence, Shael, and Summer to each make perception checks at disadvantage. Summer, you will have a normal advantage. Normal straight roll because you are not asleep.
Yep.
Yep.
Look at them rolls.
So you are quite well aware of what's going on. So Clarence and Shael both at disadvantage. While you're reaching in your bag, the shadow does continue to reach at Goplana. 10 misses, doesn't it, Goplana?
Misses.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to run out sooner.
Wait, I have that weird stone that I picked up at that place. Can I throw it at the shadow?
You can try.
What should I press to throw it? Because I don't have a button for it.
What does it say on it? There should be a. I should have given you a handout.
Nope.
Is it not in your? weapons. Loot.
Yeah.
No, loot, no. Items and loot tab.
There.
Pardon me.
That sounds like a very bad goat impression.
First of all, roll a 1d20 plus your modifier. So whatever your
Plus my what?
plus your modifier. So whatever your damage roll, your attack roll is. So I think it's +2 because you're thingy. No. Go ahead and roll a 1d20 to see if you hit first.
Where am I? 16.
That's fine. Yep. So it's 1d8,
D8.
and that classes as a bonus action. That is, by the way. That should now be in your inventory to see big rock.
Nice.
So that's 2 bludgeoning damage. Which it does hit it, but it kind of almost like you don't hear like the impact mark. It's almost like it absorbs a lot of the impact and then like slowly like falls by its side and then scatters onto the floor. Okay.
Lovely.
So Clarence, you did wake. Shael, you are still asleep.
I'm not surprised.
And it does attempt to reach at Goplana again. Does a 14 hit you, Goplana?
Oh fuck yeah! That's my armor class.
So that's 5 necrotic damage. And I need you. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. Strength score is reduced by 1. Sorry, you are. Yeah, sorry, it's 5 necrotic damage and 1d4. Your strength is reduced by 3 points.
Oh, good. Is that temporary or completely?
It's the reduction lasts until the target takes finishes a short or long rest.
Oof.
Good
If,
point.
Wait,
if,
how much strength do you have left?
If your
Nine?
strength is reduced to 0,
Yep.
you die.
You die.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
fuck!
Oh god! Oh fuck! Oh god! Oh fuck!
It does get better. If you die, you rise as a shadow. and
So then we have
attack
2 to
targets.
fucking deal with.
Okay, so
How quick can this shit move? Do you think?
Clarence,
Clarence is going to pull out his Bible
okay.
of the Knowing Mistress,
Really great.
and he's going to jump off the bed and shout, "Heed the word of the Knowing Mistress," and smack him with the Bible.
Nice. Go ahead first.
By
of
you
all.
compels you.
Go ahead first of all. I want you to do a religion check. Then I want you to do your attack.
Okay, that's not bad.
Sure, that's not bad at all.
I don't have my Bible down on my. Oh yes, I do have it down on my weapons list.
Okay.
15 to hit.
Okay. Yeah, that hits.
For 5 points of damage.
Yeah. So as you raise your Bible and you speak the heed of the Knowing Mistress, you feel a warmth on your hand and you smack solidly. You smack this like shadow, and it almost like flickers out of existence, but it just about holds on.
Okay. Can I position myself? Who's it attacking? Goplana?
Yeah, I mean, you're literally almost like surrounding this shadow anyway, so regardless
Can
where
I-
you are,
Well, can I sort of position myself between Goplana and the shadow?
You can try, yeah. You can
Yeah.
maneuver so you kind of almost look like you're directly opposite Goplana is.
Well, I want to be in between the shadow and Goplana, so if he wants to try and reach, he's got to reach.
Okay.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tiny, so it's not going to be difficult to reach over me. But
No, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, you can most certainly do that.
it's okay, big sister. I got you.
Sweet, but scream.
It most certainly, as you do get in the way of this shadow, it almost passes like through you. It's almost like it's in the same space as you, Clarence, and it continues to reach for Goplana.
Yes.
Well, if that's a
That'll
16,
be it.
that's a 16. That's holy shit.
I'm
So
rerolling.
that's 14 points of necrotic damage.
14
Has he moved out of my range?
points. I can't count.
No,
Fuck.
he's within your range. As this is your room, so it's a very compact area.
Oh shit.
And we did explicitly get the one room that has the least amount of space in it, I think.
Thank you, Giraffe.
How much strength do you have left?
5.
Well, that's good because that's 4 points of drain for your strength. But Goplana, it is your go.
Can you even fucking walk with one strength?
You can,
Oh,
but
shit.
it's not that easy.
Yes.
Would you be willing to tell me how quickly this ship moves?
The shadow. It's 40-foot speed, and this room is not 40 big.
We explicitly said we wanted the one with the biggest airflow, so the windows will be open, right?
You have the window there, but the window currently is not open.
Fucking shit.
Just jump through it.
Yeah, just fucking.
If you run,
it.
it'll get an opportunity attack.
Indeed.
And then you might just fucking die, like, now. Because we might be able to kill it before its next turn. I know that's, like, a stretch, but...
Okay. I'm gonna thunder wave it, and it'll push it back away from me as well.
Okay.
It's gonna probably not get everybody in the room.
Oh shit, it will, won't
Yeah,
it?
I mean,
No,
you're
please
literally
no.
like there are people everywhere. There's no like, there's no movement really in this room. It's very, very tight.
That
I mean-
might wake me up.
It might be.
I mean, is that what your character would do anyway? With one strength, would you just thunderwave it?
Yeah.
Then do it.
Guys. It will be at a level 3.
As long as you're sorry about it, I'm okay.
Okay.
T14. Oh, please, God.
7. It hits. And as you let out an almighty thunderous wave of energy, this like shadow just kind of disperses and dissipates, and wisps of this shadow just disappear into the space of this room.
Do we all need to make con saves?
Yeah, and I would say everyone but Clarence and probably Shael, because Shael would have been off to the side. And if you would have done this, I would imagine the longest route is from door, like Goplana's bedside, to the window. So everyone that side would have had to do it. So that would account for Jirek and Summer.
Okay.
And probably Kegger.
Alright.
I think I would have. I would have been last because I was in between them.
You was in between Goplana and the shadow, so yes, you would have to. You're right. So, So Jirek, you take 13 points of thunder damage.
And more importantly, I'm thrown back 10 feet.
Indeed. Which kind of just puts you to like the wall, like you hit the wall like a bit firmly. You don't quite really get to the window as such. Like it's not strong enough to push you out the window.
Mm-hmm.
A few moments pass, and you hear a dum 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 dum, and your door literally just bursts open, and you see Yulf there, and he's like, just looks around, looks at the ground, like looks at everyone, and then's like,
I'll be like, what the fuck? I'm trying to sleep. Get out of here.
he's like, what the hell is going? What in all the hells is going on here? I'm trying
Anna
to.
would have collapsed by now.
Again, do it again, Godfather. That was amazing.
He's like,
Please don't do it again.
there I am making breakfast. Next bang, crash, wallop. What's going on?
Oh, can a group of friends not have some morning?
We've got other guests trying to rest. Keep it down. And he kind of pulls the door closed again.
What the fuck was that? Why was it so short?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh fuck.
What did you do?
Oh, Lana's collapsed right now. Can I throw that one out there?
Oh, God.
Me crying, sobbing a little bit.
I want to find out, like, is there a mechanical, like at a certain amount of strength you can't walk like faster than 5 feet per round or something? Because I'm fully convinced that Lana like is paralyzed, like physically paralyzed.
Probably not far off. Yeah. If you've got one strength, then there's not a lot of you're not able to do very, very much at all.
What is the strength of a rat?
Less than that. No, I think it's more. It's around 8.
But that's 8 for a tiny creature, which I think comes out as 2 for a medium. So I think at this point you are literally weaker, like pound for pound, than a rat.
And Lana's just on the floor.
Is incredibly impressive.
I mean,
Well done.
at the stage that Yorf came up the stairs and was discussing that he was preparing breakfast, you couldn't smell breakfast, and it's still a little darker outside than you would expect for morning. So you would imagine you still have a few hours rest time.
Thank Christ.
And that he's lying.
Or
that he was literally like just about to.
That
stop.
you don't know, but yeah.
Fucking hell. Right. What the fuck? Okay, right. I'm gonna pick Lana up and like, I guess like just drop her in her bed. Like,
Cheers.
What the fuck? What was that thing? Who was that thing?
Whiz crap, the stupid. Remember that gnome that was hugging us in Duran?
We hardly fucking knew him. Why is he haunting us?
And why is he here? What did he do?
We were nothing but rude to him. We weren't even his friends.
How did he even get in here?
The bloody sword.
Well, I mean, it didn't look like he had to worry about getting here physically. He literally turned into wisps of smoke when he died.
Oh, well.
Oh, fuck.
Jesus. Okay. Right. Right. First things first. I am going to put my silvered hand axe underneath my pillow, and that's staying there for some time. And right. Well, we've got now a list of things to do today that is one item longer. Fuck. Right, so sun hasn't come up yet, right?
Sun hasn't come up yet. No.
Okay.
So you
It's like
you bed
5
down
o'clock
again?
in the morning.
Yeah, there or thereabouts.
Yeah, I think we rest with someone on watch. Who isn't hurt?
I could stay up.
Okay.
The one that's asleep.
I think we need someone to watch just in case we get fucking yumped by a shadow again.
I volunteered to stay awake.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. Got so much shit to do. There's so many fucking threads. Right.
I mean, Summer now is just gonna grab Eben and just sort of curl back up in bed and go back to bed. So she's done now.
Hey, actually, wait, no. I'm not going to rest. I'm going to stay at diminished hit points. That way, when we go to the merchants and say, like, we got jumped, I'm going to look like I'm going to have a bloody nose. I'm going to, walk around with a limp.
It's like electrocution in the head.
Yeah, like my hair will be standing on end. Okay.
No, I'm gonna try and convince you to go to sleep.
I'm going to say...
I'm okay. I've got this. I can stay watch. Honestly,
Don't worry.
Go to sleep. It's okay. It's okay. Go to sleep.
Dedicated to the performance, young boy.
No, it's okay. I got this.
Who is 15 years my senior.
Yeah, I've got more life experience. Honestly, go to bed. It's fine. I've got this. Go to bed.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check, Clarence.
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Wow, I'm not the
best
worst
way.
charisma in the group.
Would it be
I'm the worst.
intelligence? Just to trying to think what it might be.
Insight is usually to.
Yeah, go on, do an insight then. That's fine. If you can beat 8 on your insight, then you stay awake.
I think I have a plus. Okay, just don't roll a 1.
Bollocks.
Yeah. Okay. No. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to bed and then just close my eyes and just not actually go to sleep.
Do you tell me
try
this?
and I'll say you've convinced me, and then I just go back to bed and close my eyes. If you want to call me out on it, that's your problem to deal with.
I don't have the intelligence to call you out on it. So yeah, after 5 minutes when you're asleep, I just try and entice the cat. That's my whole game plan now, is to become friends with the cat.
The cat or the mountain lion? Two very different things.
The cat.
You have two cats. You have
the cat
or you have Ebon.
Yeah.
Oh god.
There are many cats in this room.
Which is there's 2 cats, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the little one, the kitten.
No.
Okay, Ebon.
Leave my cat alone. He's currently curled up in my arms while I'm.
Yeah, I'm just talking to it, trying to get it to come out. Come on.
Right. I think we should establish names: Big Cat, Little Cat, Magic Cat.
Well, Magic Cat has a name actually.
There's 3 cats.
Oh wait, shit, no, because
The little cat is a magic
your cat is also magic.
What? Wait, how many cats have we got?
We've got
Just call mine.
And more to the point, I don't know how to
He is a
cat.
mixture of everything.
We
Kegger is
have
a
3
cat.
cats.
We have the Displacer Beast Blink Cat thing,
Yeah.
and we have Shale's Familiar, which is a cat for the time being.
And it's called Sai.
Fuck the familiar.
Sigh.
I'm all about the space cat.
Okay, right. Space cat is Sai like a fae or a fiend or what?
It's a fae.
Okay, fae cat, space cat, big cat. Done.
Space cat. I'm all over space cat.
Space has nothing to do with it, but yeah.
Holy shit. I'm so glad I invited you to this group. Oh, God. Yeah, so go ahead and roll me an animal handling check at disadvantage because he's quite
I've
comfortable.
got speak with small beasts, which gives me I can communicate simple ideas with small beasts.
You can have a straight roll in that case because you would else have disadvantage because he's quite very comfortable where he is at the moment.
Yes!
Holy shit. You Summer,
Stop
like
stealing my animal.
you're trying to comfort yourself with this ringing in your head, with Eben in your arms, and like you have witnessed this before, it's like forcing its body out, and to the point where it's almost digging its claws into you a little bit, and it kind of just wriggles and like dislodges its form out of you, and then drops to the floor, and then jumps up onto the bedside by Clarence.
I am. So, Jurek I have stated, is not actually asleep. Would it be completely out of the realm of possibility for him to be able to just give Kegger a nudge and be like, growling, just get him to stop it? Because I don't think that Summer would react very well.
Would I notice the cat coming out of my arm?
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
if I am asleep?
Well, you're not asleep.
Bitch, I'm gonna hit him with the ugly stick. My ugly stick is
Go
gonna whack
ahead.
him on the head.
Who, the cat or me?
Because you prick.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me give it to
Yeah,
you.
'cause Yeah. Stealing my animal.
I'm not stealing it. I just want to play with it while you're asleep.
No.
She wasn't asleep.
So go ahead and roll your 1d20 like attack roll.
1d20. Yeah.
What's your normal attack modifier? Like usually it's like plus whatever.
Oh, I'm the wrong bit. What, for just my regular thingy?
Yeah, for your regular attacks.
Oh, can we not play the game right now? Plus 6.
Okay. So 17. Does 17 hit your armor class, Clarence?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll 1d4.
1d4.
And then roll 1d6.
1d6. Oh, good enough.
So as the cat comes over to you, Clarence, and you're kind of like, you get a little bit preoccupied and you go to stroke it, and out of nowhere this bright orange flash of tiefling like rushes to you and whacks you with this really like oddly shaped stick. It just looks like a regular branch from like a quick glance, but you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage and then heal 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Where the fuck did you get this stick from?
When we went to that weird where that guy was and I stole his bone.
Wait, say again?
Huff, is his name Hufflau? Where we went and he went into the weird little like mausoleum kind of thing.
Oh right, yeah. We found a magic stick there. Really?
Yeah, I found a stick and I found a
that.
stone. I chucked the stone at the shadow and I've hit Clarence with my stick.
Shit, you rolling in magic items.
I mean, the stone was just a stone.
Oh, never mind. That was okay.
Clarence sort of starts, as soon as you hit him, he starts crying, but then stops almost at the same time. Just oh. And he's really confused by what happened because it hurt, but at the same time didn't.
Oh, I'm just gonna say afterwards, find someone else to make friends with, and I'm gonna take my cat back and go back to bed.
I thought we were friends.
Not with my cat, not while I'm sleeping. My cat.
I'm sorry. I just get lonely.
Oh, there's a big lion cat over there. Go pretend fight with that.
Okay. And I run over to the lion.
Kega does not know how to pretend fight. You will die. At least, like, cover your face.
No,
Oh Christ!
no, I'm just gonna roll. Like, when I literally run into Kega and just start rolling around. I just sort of made like growling noises. Rawr, 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 rawr.
Oh God.
First one misses, second hits, third hit, fourth misses. So that is 16 points of damage I've just taken.
Oh, shit.
And Kega is having an amazing time. Just so you
So,
know.
so am I.
This is
Oh
I
my
carry
God.
I carry on.
Yeah. Now you understand why Jirak is like covered in scars. He didn't like just fight loads of people. It's just Kega doesn't really know restraint very well. Mostly just attacking people.
Oh, dear.
Jesus Christ.
I think this episode is literally going to be me trying to befriend animals and just being injured.
No, you say it like you haven't been trying that every single.
I've actually got
I think I've got a
tears.
list in my notes of every time that you've like tried to befriend an animal and it just nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Wait,
I've got
okay,
the words
so-
Clarence is going to cause a rat uprising written from last session.
Oh, that's an idea, mate. I could have a rat army.
So,
The Rat
if you-
King. Oh, Clarence the Rat King has to it.
Oh my god, can we make you a were rat? That'd be so cool.
Oh my
Ooh.
God.
DM.
We'll see.
It might even increase your dexterity. I think.
Would it make me more charismatic?
Probably not.
No.
It would allow you to turn into a rat
Yes.
or a rat humanoid hybrid.
I just want to be an animal.
So,
Sorry.
as you are playing around with Kega, being distracted,
And
Jirak ripped to ribbons. Jirak laying in his bed awake with his eyes closed. Summer awake, pretending to be asleep with ringing, high-pitched noise in her ears. Morning soon does break. The wind is howling. The rain is belting down. Breakfast is ready.
Can I roll some hit dice?
Of course.
I'm on 17.
Right.
Great.
I'm gonna reconnaissance, go downstairs, and see what's on the menu for breakfast today.
Mm-hmm.
Is there meat?
There is meat. There is bacon, sausages, and leftover rat.
Okay, right. I was going to say, is it rat bacon or rat sausages? Okay, right. I go back up to the group and say, okay, we need to eat. Obviously, we are like living beings, and then we need to come up with a plan for what we're going to say to the market people. Go there. Where's my to-do list? And then tomorrow I can collect my. No, today I can collect my my breastplate, I believe, and then we'll fuck off for the wyverns, and never come back to Western ever again.
I mean, I do like the weird library to yesterday, so I might have to come back. Plus, I
do
did
like the
agree to work
aesthetic.
with.
Oh, well, that was
So-
stupid.
Kind of have to come back now.
Right. Okay.
I mean, we just won't stay here. We can just like camp or something.
I think Now, don't hate me, Lana, but I think we may have to travel through the sewers if we want to get in and out of the city without the clasp knowing exactly where and when we are leaving the city and for what reason. The less they know, the better, I think.
Yes, we'll have.
Groans coming from Lana. No. But fine. Strength back, or is that?
Right. When everyone's up, I'm gonna go downstairs and start eating breakfast and like not eat the rat, obviously.
So yeah, you see basic kind of breakfast, like continental breakfast style buffet. This was mentioned, but it was not included in your free stays because the breakfast is the most expensive part of the stay here. It is 1 gold piece for a continental breakfast, including a pretzel if you so choose.
Which continent?
All of them.
Okay.
That's why it's the continental, because it's all the continent.
Continent all.
Yeah, Summer's gonna come down,
Mhm.
but she's just gonna let him roam around, but she's gonna keep an eye on him.
Okay. So, everyone downstairs having breakfast?
Yep.
Yeah.
Have I got enough strength to get down there?
Yes. I would say you're replenished through a short rest.
Let's never do that again.
I mean, it was your fault. So.
I know.
Shouldn't have opened the door.
It was a dream. It was a dream. I was taking it as a dream. Next thing I
I'm
know,
going to
Shadow take after me.
ask. Right, Lana, why was it attacking you? What are you linked to Wizcrack any more than the rest of us? He hugged all of us when we met him.
It's that goddamn
End of
sword.
me. I opened the door. I thought it was a dream.
Did the shadow come out of the sword?
Yes.
Guys, I think the sword might just like trap the souls of everyone who dies around it.
Is there anyone in restaurant that wants to take a look at it?
I don't think that's what it is. I think it takes this. I think that's what the larva thing is. And I think it will go after the people that those. Both Summer and I got hit, and we're the only two that are having these dreams. Then this larvae thing, unless that is what's the main? The crawling king is. Would
That's
that
the
be
one.
manifestation? My name, like.
Get out of my seat, cat.
Sorry, was that a question or was you?
No, that's just a general thing.
I'm just trying to fucking get my head around it all. Right,
So-
there's.
Come here.
Is it all linked? Is like some of it linked? Are the clasp and the nightmares separate?
No.
I think they're separate.
Okay. Right. Nightmares. We have no leads on the nights, right? Apart from that one guy in the tavern yesterday who said that he was also having nightmares, but he said there was an upside, which to me implies that there's like a thing causing the nightmares, and he maybe are linked to it. That's all I've got.
Got a feeling that our nightmares and their nightmares might be different, though. That's the only thing. So we need to talk to the people
Always
in
ask.
their nightmares and see what's going on with that.
Just as an additional thing to mention, Summer, you have 1 point of exhaustion.
What was that? You kept cutting out a little bit.
Sorry, you have 1 point of exhaustion.
Uh-huh.
Is anyone taking part in eating the pretzel?
Yes.
Okay, just make an effort, a mental note that for the next hour you have 1d4 to your perception rolls.
Lovely.
Okay, what's your plan, guys? The day's ahead of you.
Right. I'm going to write down everything that we definitely can / are doing today.
Lovely.
So we've got speak to the merchant, speak to the other people with nightmares, track down that one clasped guard who was, he said he was going to be on watch. So I assume that means on a gate. And there's 3 gates into Western.
3 or 4. Hold on. There is.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a round trip,
Oh,
but
actually,
we're going to be
there's
all
1,
over the place
2,
today.
3,
so-
4, 5. There's 5 gates into Western.
Okay. Well, we're going to be all over the place today anyway, I think. So I say we just take the long way around to everywhere, go all the way around the outside, and just hit every gate as we get to it. See if we can find him. See if we can find out when the end of his shift is. Maybe corner him,
Should we
keep him within an inch of his life.
Well, I might have someone who might have that information inside the might.
Hmm.
I have my contacts.
Are you friends with the clasp?
Definitely no.
Okay, that's good to know.
But maybe.
No, I'm not a big fan of them.
Okay, well, that's good.
But I might have someone who know where he is.
An in-between guy, if you will.
Let's say a contact in town that I might trust.
Well, that's better than what we're currently going on.
Don't forget I used to live here.
Yeah, I suppose you're going to know a lot of people.
Just be conscious of the reason you left Western.
I know where I left Western. But my background gives me this contact. So if you want, I can connect with him and see if he knows anything about the clasp in town.
I mean, any link's a good start, because at the moment all we've got going for us is that we know they're here and that we know we assume they know about us. All right, I've got track down clasped guard, speak to Shell's contact, get the breastplate, speak to other people with nightmares, speak to the silver merchants, and head out to kill a wyvern.
Get the money as well from Gilmore's mate.
Oh yeah. Visit Gilmore's to collect butt bounty. Right. To-do list.
I suggest that we split up then.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff to do in a day. And Westerun isn't a small place.
Something and go around to each of the and see if I can.
Because you remember what he looks like because you saw him as well last night, didn't you? All right. Is the blacksmiths that's got my breastplate ready, or will have it? I think they said like midday that day. Is it anywhere near Gilmore's?
It is, yeah. It's in the market ward.
Okay. Well, I can do those two then together. Since they'll be nearby, and tell you what, while I'm there, I'll go to this bottom gate as well.
Okay.
I'll go with Jurak.
I assume the silver merchants are near there as well, though.
Yeah, it'd be in the market ward.
Okay. I think we should all be together for the silver merchants.
Unless we do people, and that would mean that we got overcome quicker.
That would make more sense. Shit's hard, man.
We can split two groups anyway, just because we've got the sneaky things.
Right. Okay. I think silver merchants. I think which should be the last thing we do, because if that goes wrong, we need to bug out, and we want everything else rounded up before we do that.
Definitely.
So Jurek and Clarence are breastplate, Gilmore's, and should we say the two southernmost gates? Yeah, okay. That's what we're doing. The nightmares, we're just going to have to... Good luck. We're going to have to find the guy who was in the tavern last night, unless he's still here, which would be
No, we
convenient.
can just ask around for people having nightmares. That's not.
Yeah. Judging by how he was talking about it, it sounds like, it's not a hidden fact.
Yep.
Okay. You hitting the road?
Does everyone know where we're going?
Guys.
Who's going with who?
All right.
I'm with Jurek.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose because me and Lana are both having the same nightmares, we should probably be the ones talking to the other people with the nightmares.
I can agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I'll go
So,
speak with my contact.
okay, right. I am going to do some drawing on the map very quickly.
Mhm.
So, red is Jurek and Clarence. We're going to do everything in this section. Blue can be Summer and Lana, and that will be everything like there, I guess. Because if we're going to find anything about like nightmares, it'll be a scholarly thing, I assume. And judging from how you've spoken about your contact, it doesn't sound like they're like a market or very scholarly or at all opal wardy either, really. Shael. So I think if you could see your contact and then go see the gate in green, then we've checked everywhere for that one guard, and that's all the jobs. Then we meet back up to find the silver merchants.
How long are we expected to stay in Western?
Until we can leave.
So what are we guessing? Like what, a couple of hours, a couple of days?
Maybe a little bit longer.
I want to get out of here as soon as possible, in all honesty. There's
It's the same.
I'll just whiz through all this shit. This creepy slash twatty guy wants to do.
Okay, come on, guys, you're running out of time.
all right. Okay, yeah. We do that.
Okay.
We do. So yeah, me and Clarence are going breastplate, Gilmore's, and the two southern gates. Lana and Summer are going to northern gates and asking about the nightmares.
Sure.
And Shael is going to the eastern gate and finding his contact.
No
and then
worries.
we'll all meet back up and go to the silver merchants.
As you and Clarence leave the tavern, I will say first of all, as it seems that that's how it kind of goes, go ahead and roll me a perception check, please. Don't forget, if you've eaten your pretzel, you have a 1d4 to that as well.
Right, who's rolling in perception?
Okay, it was just Clarence and Ollie to begin with.
Alright.
Clarence and Jurek.
Oh, okay.
Jurek, you do see a little ways down the street, because you're currently situated in the residential area, in the residential ward, and you do see down the pathway, coming out of a home, a very similar, a familiar looking male, and a female is like donning on like shoulder pads on his back, and he's like tightening some like leather straps, and he kind of turns around, gives her a kiss, and then beckons off past the Sunkissed Tavern and begins to walk through the streets. You recognize him as the gent that was sat at the bar that had been approached.
Well, that narrows it down. Someone want to follow him? Oh, is he heading in any particular direction? Just he said past
currently
thing,
he's
but...
walking past the Sunkissed Tavern. He's likely heading, in terms of the direction, he's probably taking the route through the Scholar Ward.
Okay. Well, so like directly north to the uppermost or northernmost gate. Do you reckon?
He's kind of going past like this way here.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, right. Well, Okay. Well, that's in Lana and Summers
Okay.
area. Leave that to them.
So
Oh, I let them know, but
okay.
yeah.
No worries. As you continue with your journey, you pass the Soski Bakery, and you can smell the nice sweet sensation of the cinnamon buns and the donuts that have been baked for today. And you continue through to the market ward. It does take you about an hour to get there. And
Okay.
you do pass a few individuals that look quite sleepy, heavy eyes, bags, discoloration underneath their eyelids, and you come to the blacksmith that you'd commissioned your armor to be made by.
Okay. Well, obviously taking note of the people who are sleepy. Is that like as we go through the resident wards, we're seeing more of them?
There's like a dozen or so individuals that you pass that just look really sleepy and weary and tired.
Okay. Do they appear to be in any general like area more than another? Like, are they all like, for example, coming out of one particular church, or is it just I just
it doesn't seem to come
monitor every
out
now
of
and
like
again?
one individual place, but they're more compacted around the residential area. It seems that obviously this is where people live, so the majority of the people would be starting their day at this time in the morning, so it's likely you're seeing them start their day, but they look very, very tired.
Okay. Taking note of that. All right. I'm going to try and memorize a couple of faces, a couple of buildings for later use. But yeah, fast forward to the blacksmiths.
Yeah, no worries. So
I will say to Clarence before we go in.
Mhm.
Right. The fine lady in charge of this establishment is a bit weird. She acts like she wants something from me, yet it doesn't appear to be gold. Do not know what she refers to, but you know, yeah, Trovian Backslow. I don't understand it, and I'm sure a child like you won't either. Just don't be intimidated. It might actually be better that you're here, to be honest. It might fend her off.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see. Okay. I knock on the door and call out in Dwarvish. Hail and well met. I hear you have a breastplate for me, and like as I'm walking in.
Hello. You've returned, I see.
Yes, and I brought a friend. Unfortunately, he's not much of a armor fanatic, shall we say, but he has his merits, and I like ruffle Clarence's hair.
I've sort of pumped my chest and shown my muscles. There isn't much, but I do it anyway.
Oh, it's very nice. 2 for the price of 1, no?
Yeah!
Okay, well, I can shut up shop and we can get down to business.
I look at Clarence and say, wow, she's faster than last time, huh? Okay.
Is she an armorer, or does she do weapons as well?
She's a blacksmith, so she mainly deals with like armor and stuff like that. The weaponsmith is you would have noticed from passing this place before is literally the hut directly next. It's almost like they're one building connected, or 2 buildings connected into one. One half is the blacksmith, and the second half is the weaponsmith.
Okay.
Well, I did tell you that it wouldn't be ready until about midday, but it's probably good that you've turned up early, because it is done for you, and I've made some alterations, some creative licensing, if you like.
If it has the nipples cut out on me, fucking.
It's going to be.
And that's at Nick. That's not at the woman. if you had like the nipples cut out of my fucking breastplate, I'm gonna be raging. Okay.
She's added chaps, assless chaps.
Right.
So she pulls from like an open crate box this breastplate armor, and she places it onto the workbench. You can only see like the back of it, and from the back of it, it looks very well like crafted in terms of like where the shoulder blades would sit, and you can see the padding from within gives quite a nice protection, and it's nice and like stainless steel like appearance. And as she turns it around, you see on the front of this chess piece a rather large, ornate design of a mountain lion head, jaw open, teeth showing, and there are flecks of like gold leaf to kind of highlight the tanned appearance of the mountain lion.
Oh, fuck yeah! That's so cool. I think Jirak like yelps a little bit, and this is okay, look, it's you. Like hold up the breastplate. I'm immediately putting it on straight away.
Okay. Kind of try to maneuver in it, and you kind of reach around, and it's the first time you put on armor like this in quite a while, if at all. And you kind of try and reach around, and it's not quite there. And Traven comes closer, and she kind of is like, "Here, please, let me." And she grabs around your waist and kind of winches you closer, her bosom pressing against your chest. And you can you look down, and all you kind of see is like the pulled back, tied red like ginger hair and the forehead of a dwarf.
Remind me, does she have a beard?
Yes, she does.
Okay, yeah.
And like she tightens the straps for you, and it's a really like comfortable, snug fit, and you can feel the padding is quite inept. She looks at you and smiles, and there is something perhaps that you may enjoy about this particular garment. It has some adjustments that you may be able to add later on if you so choose. And she takes like your wrist and like maneuvers your palm round to the side, and you can feel there are 4 like ridges, like almost like indentations with like very fine like spiky points to them. They're not like sharp, it's almost like they can hold something. And she looks and says, "If you find a good enchanter and the right kind of gem, this armor will do you for quite a while."
I can only thank you enough. I'm like pulling, I guess, all my money out of my pocket. I think I've written down on my sheet that I've got 260 gold left to pay. I'm going to give her 275 for a job very well done. So this is more than I ever could have hoped for. I'll be honest, I was not expecting, but prepared for something quite dastardly. But this is excellent craftsmanship. I shall be sure to tell all of my comrades about your fine work. And I turn to Clarence and say, if you ever change your mind about wearing armor and not being topless all the time, come here.
Don't forget, my Jirak, to come and see me maybe once in a while. I may have something special for you.
I shall be glad to see it.
Okay, so you leave the blacksmith. Was there anything else? Yeah, Clarence was looking for the bookshop, I believe.
Yeah, did we pass?
Yeah. It's across the road from the blacksmith, so it's not far at all.
Okay. I'm. Well, this all depends on how long we're staying in the town. Because I want to commission something very special,
Mhm.
but I don't know how long it's going to take.
Oh, yeah, there's only one way to find out, but the likelihood
Okay.
is if you're having something commissioned, something like what you're asking for.
So you keep breaking up.
Sorry,
What was that?
if you're asking if you're asking for something that's going to be commissioned, and it's the thing that we've been discussing, the likelihood is the bookstore could provide the means to have it commissioned, but not commission it. They're not a weaponsmith; they're a bookstore.
Well, I know. I've kind of changed my idea a little bit of what. So basically, can we go to the bookshop? Jared, can we go to the bookshop? Can we go to the bookshop?
I'm just like very distracted. I'm just basically just like rubbing my chest and running my hands over the arms. Going, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. I'm just very mindlessly following Clarence.
Okay. I go into the bookshop and I'm looking for Nate book of the Knowing Mistress, Bible of the Knowing Mistress.
Okay, yeah. You enter the bookstore and you kind of, as the door opens and Clarence kind of just rushes in like a child loose in a toy shop,
bookshop.
like scouring around this bookstore and like rummaging through books and binds, not really quite knowing where to begin. This half-elf female peers round the corner of one of the bookshelves and is like, is there something in particular you're looking for, my dear?
I'm looking for a Bible of the Knowing Mistress, please. Do you have any? Really pretty ones, really nice ones with stones and things.
I have a few editions. Let's take a look. And she kind of guides you, and it's almost like she moves without like walking. It's very bizarre to witness, but her legs do move, but it's weird. She almost glides through this shop, and she kind of pulls the occasional book off the shelf, and you see like a collection of 4 of binds of quite heavy, thick, large-sized books. You have one that is a white leathered bound Bible of the Knowing Mistress. It has gold leaf trim and corner edging, and it has the Knowing Mistress's appearance, like the facial tone that is like a symbol of hers that is placed on the front. You have one that is a purple, like scaled looking leather bound book with like a dark ebony appearing like metallic edging that seems to encase this. This one has like a lock pin on it.
Okay.
And you have a final one which is a black bound leather book with just like a few kind of ribbon strips across it, and a very long extravagant looking book page holder, like a little ribbon.
Okay.
These are some of our finest collections of our Knowing Mistress holds. Do any of these appease you?
Can I sort of pick one up at a time and sort of swing it and just see how it feels in my hands?
Yeah, the purple bound and the ivory are both not far off each other.
Okay.
The ivory probably looks a little bit more ornate, but it's really down to personal preference.
But those are the 2 that sort of appeal to me the most.
Mm-hmm.
How much are these 2? These 2 swing well.
Well, they are of our highest caliber of of our holding here, I could do the ivory 185 for gold, or
180. Oh, okay,
or
okay.
the purple binding is. I can possibly do the purple for 120.
120. Do you know the history of these?
Unfortunately, I'm not much of a follower for the knowing mistress, but there are verbs around the ivory once belonged to a head cleric of the knowing mistress, but whether or not the rumours are true.
I really like the white one. Okay, I just hand over 185,
Okay.
and then I run out of the bookshop,
Sure thing.
and then I run across the road to the.
Sorry, you ran across the road too.
The weaponsmith.
Okay. So you hear the heavy hammer hitting the anvil from within this workshop space, and you see a rather large, much thicker build half-orc male, much thicker build than Jirak, at least from your perspective.
Okay. Wow. Am I tall enough to sort of reach over the counter?
Yeah, thereabouts. I mean, there are a lot of
There.
halflings and dwarfs and such from this area, so there
So,
is like a
hello?
little raised edge. Well, hello.
Hello.
What can I do for you?
I'd like to commission a weapon, please.
What kind of weapon would you like? We do hammers and swords, or we got maces.
Could you make me a maul?
A maul.
Yes.
Sure. We can do you a rounded, nice, heavy maul. We can do it with silver or steel.
I kind of throw the book down on the counter and say, I want you to cast this, please.
Huh. Well, in all my days, first time I've had a holy person try to ask for a weapon to be built this way. What
Well,
exactly are you wanting to do with this maul?
Well, I want to use the word of the knowing mistress to vanquish my enemies. And I couldn't think of a better way to doing it than hitting them with the Bible.
So you're a cleric?
Yeah. In training.
I mean, usually clerics come in here, they're all finey-diney with their shimmery garments and robes, but you seem to be lacking the finesse of a cleric.
I'm lacking the wisdom too.
Okay. Well, sure, we can commission you something. A maul.
Could you make it look
casting.
pretty?
Well, what kind of things you wanted me to do to this maul to make it look pretty?
Just have like the face, so that I can hit people with the knowing mistress's face.
Okay. Oh, you sure are a sprightly fellow.
Yeah.
Well, sure, I can make something up for you.
How long would it take? Because I don't know how long we're going to be in town for. I think we want to leave.
Well, you've given me most of the materials to get started, and I have a relatively good handle for a maul. And he kind of reaches into a barrel behind him with an open top, and he kind of brings out this like thick, heavy like maul handle, which has like very small kind of like spikes, not sharp spikes, but like ribbed spikes that you'd often find on like belting and things like that. And he kind of gives that a swing around with his wrist, and I have this that I'm sure if I can manage to get some sort of encapsulate the book. I can make it work. Let's say I can have it tomorrow evening, maybe.
Yeah. How much?
Well, something as fine as this would end up like. You're probably looking, maybe 250.
250.
Hmm.
By tomorrow evening.
Sure.
Jirak! Jirak!
Yes.
Are we going to be here tomorrow evening?
If we need to be.
Can I
We haven't been chased out of town just yet, but you never know.
can I slap 300 on the table and say, can I have it by tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow mornings are short, like space, even with the extra gold. You'd be really pushing the quality. I assure you the time span would give me at least my best work.
Okay.
I'm sure if you guys know where you're going, I can have it delivered to you.
Ooh. Okay. Perfect. I'll hand over the 250. Well, I'll take 50 back.
Okay. Sure thing. And he kind of takes your book, and he almost like gets to work straight away, and you can see him kind of try and get the shaping and stuff in like this weird mold that he's got, and he kind of pushes in like this weird clay stuff and starts like molding around and doing some other bits and pieces. And he's like, right you are. Well, I'll see you soon.
I'll see you tomorrow. Lovely meeting you. Bye. And I'm gone.
Okay, so let's go for Gotplana and Summer. Around the scholar / sort of resident stay, as pointed out by Jirak before they left, you do see and recognise the same individual that was pointed out to you as the guard that was staying in the tavern at the bar. What would you like to do? Hello?
Hello.
You're up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Fab.
Summer?
Good evening.
Okay. So before Jirak left, he pointed out the individual that was at the tavern wearing the shield armor that is walking through the streets as you exit the tavern. What would you like to do?
Let's follow, but at a distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like,
And don't make it too obvious.
yeah, we're not sneaking, but we're generally sightseeing as we go.
Sure. He walks quite fixated on his destination. He doesn't seem to like deviate or pause until he gets to like a few kind of guards that like are already on duty, and he kind of like shakes hands, gives a bit of a nod, or the general acknowledgement that guards would give to one another. Again, it does take you about an hour of you following him, and he reaches the northern main gate, the same main gate that you entered on.
And the gate, how high are the walls?
The main gate, easily, I don't know, maybe 100 foot tall, maybe more.
Okay. What do you want to do, Summer? I'm gonna pull her into this alley
by here?
You would be this one here. Sorry, this is the
Oh, sorry.
the gate
Oh,
that you
that's
entered in
north.
on.
Okay. Let's go into this one here, just so we're out the way. Plans.
So who is this guy that we're following anyway?
He's the one that was a racist to you as we got here in the first place.
Ah.
Yeah, in pocket of class, etc., etc. Major dick. Shall we? Have you got any like disguised self or anything?
I do indeed.
Because you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Sorry.
Oh, he will definitely remember me.
And I
So-
reckon if I turned into something small, I could stick around for a bit longer.
Yes, like I could have two cats. If you turn into a cat, I'll have Evan and I'll have you, and you walk with me. It's just like a person, a really cat lover person, just walking down the street with the cats.
Or can you be a witch? I'll be a black cat.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cast the disguise self then.
Okay. What are
And-
you disguising yourself as?
I'm genuinely gonna make myself look human, but very witchy.
Okay. Like a crooked nose and a mole on your face, that kind of thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna turn into an adult black cat.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna call Evan so that he comes walking with us.
Okay. So you exit the alley. What is your plan?
Lana's gonna curl up towards the gate, just off to the side, just be like dickhead cat, stick their thumb up at the guards and just curl up and stay by there.
Okay. About 15-20 minutes pass and you see an individual in plain clothes slowly and cautiously approach the guard. Kaplana, you recognize this individual as the individual wearing the leather armor that had approached the guard. It's time. What's time?
Can I hear this conversation? Am I like eavesdropping enough?
Go ahead and roll me a perception. Goplana probably would because she'd be a lot closer, I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
Do I still get the +4?
No, because it's been a bit over an hour
Ah, okay. Fuck.
now. Nope. You didn't even see him approach.
Shit.
All you're doing is looking like longingly at Eben and going, "Oh." That's about it. And yeah, so give me a second. It's time. What's time? Are they ready? Yeah. If we don't make our move and let Margrave know soon, the clasp, they're gonna attack. And you're sure this information's reliable? Yeah. No one suspects me. I've made it in. Now all I've got to do is get out. I'll do my best. I've got to warn Margrave, but getting his attention isn't easy. If you don't tell him soon, the class will overrun the city and take control. When do they attack? In about a week. Well, at least there's time. That's if the schedule's kept to. There's some talk about it changing or bringing outsiders into the fold. If that means they double their numbers, they'd be stronger. The guards won't have a chance to protect Margrave or Western. Okay. Let's leave it as it is. I'll send word. Stay safe, friend. And the guy walks off, like looks behind him, sneaks off.
Shit. Right.
Well, I have no clue what's happened. I'm just like, oh, giddy, meow.
Lana's gonna trot it back up to Summer and like nuzzle and then get her to walk, like headbutt her to get her to walk away.
Okay. As you come away, you manage to slip by an alley nearby.
Yeah, I'll go in there and change back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let Summer know everything I heard.
Oh, yay.
Okay.
So, oh fuck, I've lost a bit of my pen. I take it that means we're gonna have to stay here a little bit longer than they would have hoped.
Longer than I would have hoped.
Well, if we don't stay, then well, this town is fucked. I mean, even if we do stay, it might still be fucked, but we can just, yeah, maybe help. Not a clue.
I'm not gonna lie, I owe no allegiance to this place. This place has fucked me over quite a few times. It has a nice bakery, I'll give it that much. But so far we've been attacked by rats,
Yeah,
we've had racist assholes.
maybe we should just warn the others,
We'll tell
see
them
what
and
the
then
see what the collective group thinks, and then go with whatever.
I'm still all for leaving this place as quickly as possible. But yeah, let's go and talk to them. On our way, shall we see if we can find anyone that looks moderately tired and see if they are having any
Yes.
problems.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you make your way back slowly but surely. Yeah, again, it's about an hour's travel back that way. Shael.
Yep.
So you approach the location you know to be your contact's home. There are two individuals in dark leather gear standing outside the door. The windows are like blackened, and you see another individual wearing a bit more elaborate leather gear holding your or like his palm on the back of your contact's back as he like eases him into the door. Like they've been out somewhere and they've returned.
So it looks more like he trying to take some information from him, or just they're talking.
It's hard to tell. It doesn't look like a friendly encounter.
Okay. I'll stand on the ready. I will not act. I will watch until he tries to hurt him in some way.
I mean, from where you see, they enter the property and the door's shut behind them. You don't really see much more than that. The two individuals stand guard outside the property. Again, it takes an hour or so, maybe 2 hours, and the individual leaves. The two guard, like these two individuals that were guarding, one leaves with the main guy and one stays.
Do they look like class members?
Oh yeah.
Because I've seen class members and I know them. That's
Yeah.
why I'm asking.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, so one is left to like guard his house. Okay, I'll cast invisibility on myself
Okay.
and go through not through the main gate, but through one of the windows.
Okay.
And just give him a quiet knock on the window, but in a specific code that he'll know it's me.
Takes a little while, but you hear the latch beginning to shift and move, and the window opens, and you see your contact kind of look both ways, kind of doesn't see anything, and
I'll appear in front of him.
Okay.
Out of the invisibility. Be like, can I come in?
Sure. Be quick.
Okay, I'll jump in.
Shale, why are you here? You left.
Yes, I did.
You do know that there are people looking for you.
Well, everywhere there are people looking for me, you know. You get used to it at some point.
No, this isn't just people. Fetch is looking for you. He's looking for blood. There was word that someone in your description was seen in the woods with merchants and silver. You was instantly recognized.
Great. Well, I actually came to have a chat with you and what's happening with all the class members here.
There's been almost a strange radio silence. I think something big is happening. You've probably returned at the worst time.
You did have a chat with one of them.
Yeah.
And can you give me a little bit more?
Well, as I said, they knew you're here. They know we know each other. They wanted to know if you was hiding here.
Is he lying to me?
Go ahead and roll an insight check.
Inside. Not the best at that, but
It's hard. You haven't seen him in a long while. It's hard to like pick out his cues, his bluffs and such.
yeah. So they're here because of a deal with silver and merchants, or because of me? What do you think?
They know you used to run a small gang of rats. Street rats. I mean, we've got some stories to tell, Shale. But they forced you out the city once. They'll do it again. But this time, you'll be a corpse. Fetch is after blood. You and whoever you're traveling with spilled blood. Unless you're prepared to appease him, he will try and kill you all.
They can try. We won't be sitting around a long time. So
Why did you
let's
come
hope.
here?
I need a way out of town.
You know where the gates are.
An unseen one.
Anything
One where
unseen will be monitored by the clasp. They have access to all the roads in and out that are less conspicuous. They've doubled in size since the last you was here, Cher.
What about the main gates? They're monitoring them?
Some of the southern gates are monitored by guards that are in their employ, but there are a handful that still are loyal to the cause. It seems they're not quite able to penetrate the Scholar Ward or the
That's
Opal
good.
Ward. The Market Ward is flooded with them, and the Temple Ward are as hell-bent on destruction anyway, passing the word of their lord like it makes any difference.
Alright. So Scholars Ward is my best chance, as I guess.
There's a lot less of the clasp within that district, yes. Wasn't you traveling with someone?
I am. Would they recognize him?
I didn't mention anything.
Didn't mention. That's good.
I mean, you as the ringleader. It's only normal they would go after you first. It seems that your small band of street rats made a little bit of an impact.
Well, that's behind me now, you know.
That's what they all say. Quickly, you must leave.
Yep.
They'll be back. Watch
I'll
yourself.
live through. Stay alive. And I will live through the same window that I came in.
Okay. Are you just leaving naturally or are you stealthing?
I'm living stealthily
Okay.
because there is one.
Yep. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check, please.
Don't fuck me up. Okay.
You are a shadow in the wind, gone, vanished without a trace.
Yeah. That's in which part of the city?
What do you mean? Where you currently are? The
Yeah.
lower, by the lower district of the resident ward.
Okay.
So close to where the main gate is.
I'll head back to the tavern
Okay.
in that case.
So we go back to Jirak and Clarence. You begin to finish up in the market ward, and you think that perhaps it's time that you've done what you can do here and to regroup. You begin to return through the same streets. Go ahead and roll me, both of you, a perception check, please. Both 12s, nice. That's good enough.
Not the best.
It's not the best, but for this particular check, it's good enough.
Okay.
You as you walk through the streets, you hear ahead of you the sound of like a series of carts on the cobbled stone, and you see the crowd beginning to divide and split to let these carts through. And as you kind of begin to pay attention, you see 3 carts loaded with heavy crates and 2 dwarven individuals that look very familiar.
Get the fuck out. Oh god.
As the convoy move towards you and begin to pass, the one you would recognize as I forget his name.
Obi?
Obi looks
Yeah.
looks in your direction, and you're not quite sure at first. He kind of gives almost like a very slight side smile and continues through.
We need to get back to the tavern right this very fucking second. That's not good.
Clarence waves.
The
Is the bears there? Are the bears there?
They weren't being pulled by bears. They were being pulled by horses.
Well, there's no bears. Clarence doesn't give a shit.
Horses don't do it for him.
Nah.
They
fair
were
enough.
dead like 3 days ago. Why are you not freaking out?
What?
That's more like it. See, right now we can really figure out what's going on.
Oh God.
Just a lot more.
But you're right. We killed. Well, they died. We had nothing to do with it. Did they see us?
I mean, he looked at me, so I can only assume yes. Dear me, this isn't good.
I've just spent a lot of money on something. I'm not leaving town.
No, I can relate to that. Don't you worry. Right, there must be an explanation. I don't know much about the dead. What do we do? What do we do?
Let's go kill a wyvern.
Clear our heads. That's a good idea. It's a very good idea.
Let's go in a battle to the death with a wyvern. I'm sure once we come back, everything will be in perspective.
You know, that's very insightful.
You know,
You wouldn't be able to think you were 40 years old.
It gets us out of town, you know, into the country, bit of fresh air, regroup.
Fresh air and a walk, all you need to cure any of your ills.
That's what my mum said.
Your mother was a very wise woman.
She was a wonderful lady.
So, double time back to the tavern.
Yep.
I will say for the rush, it takes you half the time it normally would.
Yeah,
And-
I put Clarence on Keg's back to
Yeah.
speed him up a bit.
You
Clarence is loving it.
you strangely enough, it's all like everything's coincided with each other, and you all come to the same like junction in the street together, and you actually all meet outside the tavern.
This is a coincidence.
How handy. Okay, so Obi and Fargrim, they're not dead. Or Obi and Fargrim, sorry. They're not dead. I just saw them like 2 minutes ago. They've got the carts with the silver in the crates, and there's no bears. No bears.
Oh, bears!
No bears.
We have
but-
to get out of town.
yeah,
No.
Get to
Yes.
class rising.
We've got
I
to.
mean, we
Clarence.
can't be done for murder anymore.
Well, that's a good point. Technically, everything's all right. If they've got all the gold and they're not dead, then we're in the clear.
Well, there's something else. Clarence, they're looking for us.
What? Who? No. Who's looking? What? No. Who?
The clasp is looking for us.
But
And for all of us.
what? But what did I do?
You did nothing.
I saw Fetch. He was all right with me. He told me to join the class.
Yeah, but my head is on the chopping board, and everyone who's with me also.
Oh, Papa.
We're
No.
So,
on that same wavelength. We have a class baptizing to deal with.
I say I think we can go, but I just need to be here till tomorrow evening.
Yeah,
don't we
they're
go-
not planning on uprising for another week yet.
Why don't we go and kill a wyvern, get lots of money, and then fuck off?
I mean,
yeah,
Ordinarily, I
our,
would say no, but that's a
our best way out of the city is through
Sewers.
through the
Sewers.
Colors Ward.
Sewers.
No, cluster mirroring the sewers.
I mean, I kind of just want to go in the sewers just to find out.
Yeah, I mean, or I just saw a load of carts. We could hide in the carts.
We can go straight through the gates in the Colors Ward. These are the safest gates.
You know the best way through, I guess. Yeah, I'm following you, but I vote we get out of here as soon as possible. At least until
Wall profile.
things
fast.
die down a bit, maybe.
So,
Need
but
to
are we still going to the silver place like we said?
I don't think so.
If they're alive.
Yeah, but quote unquote alive.
Well, I could go. I'm sure they won't remember me.
I would argue that you're quite memorable.
I mean, I don't see how. I'm only small.
Friend, that is exactly why you are memorable.
Because I'm small.
There's
You
so
think-
much anger in such a small form. Very impressive.
I'm not angry. I'm lovely.
That you are. But you do have quite a lot of pent-up aggression.
No, but the knowing mistress is helping me.
That she is. But
She guides me now.
you can only get so far. There's always going to be a little bit of just lots of anger bubbling under the surface, I feel. But anyway,
Well, let's kill a wyvern.
let's go kill a wyvern, clear our heads with murder.
with murder of a calm animal,
Of a filthy dragonkin.
and then we can take its tail to the lady, get her to go on a date with that guy, get all the money, and fuck off.
Perfect.
I think she's already agreed to go and speak to that guy, so we could probably just go to Gilmore's tonight, get the wyvern tail, bring it back, and then fuck off completely.
Not until tomorrow evening.
I think the wyvern, like where they would live, is at the base of the mountain, which is about a day there and back. So at the very least, we're gonna be like a day. So I
Okay.
think we leave now. I don't know.
And never come back.
No.
So leave now, kill wyvern, come back, get money for wyvern tail, get money for the date, and then leave and never come back.
We've got to make it worth our while. I mean, we killed those people and didn't get anything out of it.
Exactly. We're just trying to recoup our losses.
What now then?
Kill a wyvern.
You go.
It's soon approaching about like midday-ish by this point.
Okay. Well, if we spend the rest of the day traveling, get there, sleep, wake up, kill wyvern, come back, collect, leave.
Sounds like a plan.
That's if I'm remembering the time.
It's about
time
days
scale.
travel to the base of Gat Shadow Mount.
Okay.
So
We'll get halfway there,
Day and a
sleep,
half.
and that way we get there at about midday.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's like a we're not getting there at the end of the day. We're all tired.
Mm-hmm.
Makes
Well,
sense to me.
when do wyverns sleep? Because maybe we can sneak up on it. Are they
Well, that's
day
a good
animals or
point.
night animals?
We did some research into wyverns, didn't we?
Good. Hang on.
They're not particularly. Goplana would know that they're not particularly like nocturnal. They don't really. They're like any other creature that are out in the wild. They're not really scheduled to be nocturnal, but they have been known to hunt at night.
Okay. Well, maybe we sleep someone with cover.
Buy a tent.
Could get a tent.
Then we need a car to travel with it.
No, we don't. You can carry a tent.
You can carry a tent.
Yeah, it's just a stick and a tarpaulin. I can carry that. I've got plenty of space in my bag. I struggled to find things to fill it with when I'm out of character when I made Durac. I had just loads of spare money and space. I had no idea what to do with. I've got like a bedroll and that. So I think just buy a tent. How much is a tent?
Tent that sleeps 2 people is 2 gold.
Okay. 3 of them?
I count as half a person.
Okay, who wants to fit 2.5 people in their tent? See? Grand total of no one. Let's get 3.
Okay.
No offense to you or anything, but I think it's probably going to be you and Shael, Summer and Lana, and me and Kega, because I've just remembered that she doesn't like sleeping out in the rain, or the hypothetical rain.
Sounds
Okay.
great.
Let's do it.
As soon as we leave town.
So
Well, let's go.
we'll say for brevity of time and continuation that you rush to the closest place that you find that sells tents. You buy the the adequate amount of tents that you acquire, and you begin to make your travel to the Gat Shadow Mount. Unless, of course,
I put 3 gold in. Not that we can do at the moment, no.
Okay.
I put 3 gold in if someone else wants to put money in.
I'll put some money in.
Okay. You do make your half-day travel there before nightfall, and you do find an adequate space for a camp setup. The rain is still belting down. The wind is quite blistery. It takes you nearly 2 hours to set up your tents. It is very, very, very blistery. Once you are set up within your tents, you do feel protected from the elements outside. As Summer and Goplana are sharing a tent, would you both like to join me in the
Maybe
Whisper
we
channel?
don't put Lana and Summer together.
Oh god.
Why did none of us think of this?
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi.
So, night falls and everyone seems to be prepping. While you are sat away from the elements in your tent, you both hear the light but increasing laugh as the high-pitched sound wanes in both your ears. You hear I knew it wouldn't take long to break you, Goplana.
Oh, God.
Who would know that 2 of you were so easily manipulated by letting me into your minds?
Are you?
We have much work to do, ladies.
The fuck are you?
My name goes by many, but you can call me Tora.
Oh shit.
I didn't hear any of that. You keep cutting out.
You,
Oh no!
you can call me Torak.
Oh fuck!
Many may know me as the Crawling King.
Oh shit!
I sense you are traveling to dark places. Which one of your friends do I consume next? Fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off.
Got 2 of us. Why do you want more?
You will taste so divine. You will be merely puppets in my army. Summer has already made quite an impact, especially when her brethren is doing much work to have me released from my binds. You will not have much choice but to follow my will.
I think the small one should be next.
I swear to fucking God.
Leave the little one alone. The little one is a precious egg. Leave him alone.
Go and both of you make wisdom saving throws.
Like what?
Wisdom saving throws.
If you tap my strength, I'm gonna fucking end you.
Fuck.
So, wisdom saving. Summer, you take 11 points of psychic damage. Goplana, you take 2 points of psychic damage. And I both need you to make additional constitution checks, please. DC 15.
Just constitution checks.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I? No.
Oh, great!
The sound, like the high-pitched noise, begins to fade. And all you hear is the wind. And where you're closed off in your tent, it begins to like really like shift and like flap at the axis, and the wind takes it and it's like just flailing around in the wind. If you wish to join back to the main group, please. That was fun.
Judging from the two rolls that they did and you did, it doesn't look like it went very well.
So for the rest of you guys in your tents, like you're still awake by this point. It's not quite night time, but you're like trying to shelter away in your individual man tents, and you start to hear like the not shrieking, but like the kind of shocked sounds of two of the girls outside their tent, as it seems to be flailing around in the wind outside.
I will walk out immediately to see what's happening. If I'm awake.
Yeah, it's not nighttime yet. You're just sheltering away from the elements.
I straightly run out. What the?
Same. Yeah, I send Kicker out before me and then I follow.
Okay. Do you do anything as it's like these two individuals are struggling to bear down on their tent?
Oh, they're trying to destroy their own tent?
No, not trying to destroy it. It's been captured by the wind. It's flailing around in the elements.
Idiots not put any guy ropes down.
Sorry, can you say that again? You've cut out for quite a bit of that last sentence.
Sorry. So you see the two girls struggling to pun down their tent from the elements. The wind has captured it and it's like flailing around in the wind.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna grab what I can, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
It takes you a little while, but with all of you, it is not much of a task to do. But you manage to peg it back down and get the girls back to solid ground, so to speak.
Are they reacting at all to all this?
You tell me.
Lan is curled up in the ball. That's it. She's inside the tent, whatever's left of it, curled up in the ball. Fuck this.
Okay. But like, it's flying away and you're like sort of just lying there pretending everything's fine. Sort of
Pretty
thing.
much. You know,
No,
the dog with the fire in the
can't fault you for that
background.
one.
It's the time.
Right.
Me.
Are you talking about Ghostbusters?
What?
Can someone explain what happened and how did you end up like this with the tent?
It's called the wind, jackass.
What's-
You know the big blowy thing in the sky.
If
The
it was the
elements.
wind,
We
then
drew
it would be
across as
happening
well.
to all of us.
Well, do you know what? Some things people just can't explain. Like why the wind decided, oh, do you know what? Your tent looks nice. I love that one.
Make heights, but use a tent instead.
Honestly, people asking stupid fucking questions.
Ask a stupid question, get a stupid answer, right?
Okay, so we've obviously touched on a soft topic here. I think we should pretend this never happened. Maybe come back to it at a later date.
Okay. Look, it is dark. The weather has been down. You fix the girls' tent, and you organise yourselves for your rest. And I think that's a good place to close off today's session. Very, very impressed and very well done. I think there's some good information that's come out today.